Hello, this is a video about climate change and its effects by Mike Curie, Pat Fritz, Jake Allen, and Chris Campbell. So what is climate change? A very common misconception of climate change is that it's just the changes in weather patterns. Climate, by definition, is the usual weather at a location. So Hawaii has very tropical climate, Alaska has very Arctic climate, and climate change, by definition, is the change of the usual weather at a location. This means that, if Alaska starts to increase in temperature, then obviously that's climate change. Or if Hawaii becomes Arctic and starts to get snow, then that's a very crazy climate change. So there are a number of changes to Earth's climate. Like I just said, Earth's climate is always changing. So there have been times where Earth's climate has been cooler and warmer. If you look statistically throughout the years, more recently our temperature has been increasing year by year. Also, which ties into the studies are showing that our temperature has gone up in the last 100 years. Earth has gone up about 1 degree, which doesn't seem like a lot, but in terms of history, 100 years is pretty much nothing. So going up 1 degree is substantial. And there are small changes in Earth's temperature that have big effects, such as ice and snow melting, rising sea levels, and altered timing of growth of plants. So when you have glaciers that are melting in Antarctica and Alaska and places like that, when they melt, it causes the sea levels to rise and is bad for the wildlife there, such as polar bears, penguins, and animals like that. Why changes in Earth's climate happen? First, the distance between the Earth and Sun can change and vary year to year and even day to day. Also, the oceans change. But this can mean the tides and obviously the water levels, like we talked about when glaciers melt, the sea levels rise. Human activity also has an impact, such as cars, heating, and cooking. When those energies expand, there's just more things that are being released into our atmosphere. The burning of coal, oil, and gas also release more gases into the air, which causes air to heat up. And when air heats up, it often results in climate change.
Scientists believe that the temperature of the Earth will continue to rise for the next 100 years. This will cause snow and ice to melt, and sea levels will continue to rise. Other places may experience droughts. We'll also see more dramatic changes to the weather, such as stronger hurricanes. Some places may experience a colder climate, and others may get hotter. Next, let's look at how climate change can affect you. Climate change can affect human life in many different ways. It can disrupt food production, which would mean less food source for humans and the animals around us. This can be caused by hot or cold climate, which can affect certain crops because it is an extreme. This can also be affected by droughts, which would mean that the crops are not getting as much water as they would need. This can also affect the amount of precipitation, which would be located in the lakes, rivers, streams, and any other water sources around us. Sufficient water levels are very important for human life. This would also cause a direct impact on the infrastructure around us due to something like hurricanes destroying homes, bridges, or buildings. Finally, this could change the way we produce energy and the amount of energy that we need produced. An example of this would be higher temperatures, which would then cause more need for air conditioning. More air conditioning would then lead to much more energy needed to be created, and finally, higher costs. There are many ways to prevent climate change. One easy way to do this is by being more energy efficient. Things such as turning off the lights when we're not using them, turning off the faucet when brushing our teeth, taking quicker showers, and unplugging devices when we're done with them are easy ways, but usually overlooked, ways to be more energy efficient. We can opt for renewable energy, such as solar panels. We can eat more wisely by avoiding processed foods. We can lower the amount of waste produced, which is a huge problem in the United States. Too much garbage at landfills produces methane, which is a very potent greenhouse gas. Finally, we can shrink our carbon footprint.